like I said, if I'm using the example again of dealing with sin. If you, or let's just say, I want to use as common examples as possible. At work, if you're angry with your boss, then it is, you have to think it through, because, one wrong word, your job maybe, but you have to think it through, and then if the only thing that you think could help you out because you feel that something that, that your boss or supervisor being unjust or fair or being ridiculously just impossible, too demanding, then, bring it up to him. And just express, from be objective and just, point out the areas that you think are being fair and unjust. But in a way that it is, that I think is control, because you've thought it through. You just won't barge into your boss's room and say, "Hey, you, boss," and then start pointing out, you are so and so and so and so. This is so unfair. Da, 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 da. And I just use that example because I think that's what you would do if you're at work and there's something wrong. You would approach your boss in a very formal, very calm, and that you'll be prepared. That's control. Now I know it's easier said than done on normal things like arguments with a spouse or with a brother or sister or a parent. But again, later on we will see that this can be done. We can control our anger. And, we can express it in a Christian way. So just to point out again, anger is unrighteous when we are just trying to get our own way, or when we do not allow others to get something that they want that's legitimate, or something that they think should happen. If we're being the one that, sometimes you get into an argument just because you don't like that brother or sister. You're not listening to him or her. The point that he's trying to make, get through. That's just because you hate him or you don't like him. Then you go, you engage him in debate, which turns out to be a heated debate, and then anger gets out of control. There's a lot of those things that I get into with friends before work. When Renz and I have been in a community for a long time. There are things that his approach is different from my approach in a lot of ways, and there are times that I just have to contest or object just because he's friends, And it's not justified, if he wants something done, a suggestion to Kada, and I would just be the devil's advocate and just bring him down. That's not, and then I get angry because we got into a debate, and that I have no right to be angry because it wasn't being angry for the wrong reason. And again, anger is unrighteous when it's out of control. I will share again one more personal experience. I'm already a leader in Kada and things. I can't remember which men's group I'm handling. But I'm a leader in Kada, and I have this new job. In fact, the job where Voltaire used to work. And so I was the new guy. And then there's this other new guy who he's more senior. Senior to me for one day. He came in, he started the day before, but he started acting like he was there for a long time. And of course I felt like, this guy's just wielding wielding an axe. Or has an axe to grind for all the other new ones, because he came in first, so he was trying to, to be objective, he was trying to make an impression. And I'm the first, and I think with my experience I'm better than you guys, and so and so and so. And then every day he would just, every day he would just make me angry. The problem with me is that I did not express that I was displeased, and I just let him have at it. He would say bad things about my work, bad things about Ford Motor, where I used to work before. He'd say, "Oh, you guys at Ford really brought the company down because you guys are all slackers and all that." And even if I tell you my story, maybe you'll get angry. I don't want you to get angry. of that every day piled up, and I wasn't doing anything. I thought I was being Christian, but I was just being a pushover. And the problem with that is I kept it inside, it boiled over. It's like a volcano. It was just enough. I was just waiting for that day, and it will erupt. And it did erupt. There was one day I was really intensely working on my documents, and Aegis was watching me at the back. He has nothing better to do, and he said, he was pointing things like wrong spelling, wrong grammar, why did you do that? It was like my boss, but he wasn't my boss. So then I said, I pushed myself back and I said, do you want a piece of me? Everybody, we were on the same door and everything just felt quiet. And thank God, that God restrained me. I could have done other things. I threw the keyboard and I know I cursed and said a lot of bad things to him. Some Christian words. Like shouting at him, come on, and like egging him to go outside. We rough it up like real men.
Real men.
Then I came down. I was so red. Okay, I feel it. It was like heat coming out of me. Not in the heart. I called Roda. I was still catching me. I got to go fight with someone. I don't know if I will go back. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll get fired. I don't know. And that eventually that led me leaving the company. As much as I wanted to be there, it was hard for me to be with that person. But that's something I regretted. Because then, even after that, I didn't ask forgiveness. I was still, every time I think of it, I was a boiling man. And I did, problem with me is I'm a person who doesn't open up real quickly to other people. So none of my friends and Pedro knew about it as a fact. So the advices came in late. And then at that time, it was a really tough time for us. I could go on and on, but the bottom line is I ended up leaving the job. And to this day, I don't know the whereabouts of that person. I feel bad, and if I could turn things around and, things happen, but at least I could have, asked forgiveness. I know it's hard. Because I did, I had no right to badmouth him in public and say, and curse him in public. So that, I could be liable to things like that. But, I just wish I could have said sorry. At least parted ways where I have humbled myself and asked for forgiveness. Anyway, brothers and sisters, that sharing is just, I wanted to segue to how we should handle our anger in difficult situations. So, number one, we should not repress our anger. We should respond to it with Christian wisdom. So by repress, that means, by repress, that means hiding. Hiding anger or ignoring anger. We shouldn't. We should actually express it. But we should express it and channel it into ways that are positive, ways that are of God's, according to God's will, and according to Christian wisdom. And we should express our anger in an assertive but not aggressive way. We have to make clear what is right and sometimes what is wrong and how this can be met without intentionally hurting others. In a heated discussion, we need to calm down, think through our responses, and listen carefully to what the other person is saying, taking time before we answer. We need to tame our tongue, as I've said before, when we try to communicate and express our anger. So, there's a difference between repressing and suppressing. I think we should suppress our anger. That means be slow to anger, hold it. But we should not keep it. We should not hide it. We should not repress it. We should be able to express it in some way or form that is not displeasing to the Lord. So how? Well, so what do we do? When you're angry, we should decide or discern on whether the anger is justified or not. Are we just trying to get our way across, or are we just acting because we don't want to be bothered, or the things that I discussed earlier? We should think.